Hello everyone and welcome to another Java video. In this video, we're going to be taking advantage of arrays to create a palindrome checker. We're going to write a program that checks if the given string is a palindrome. We're going to assume that this string will only contain lowercase alphabetical characters. For example, taco cat's considered a palindrome because it spells forward and backwards the same, while taco dog is not a palindrome because if you were to spell it backwards, you get gato cat. So that is not a palindrome. Here we go. We have our boilerplate ready. Let's get a string input first. We're gonna print enter a word. And then we're gonna say string. Our given word is equal to sc.next line. And since we have this word now, what we're gonna do is create a character array. From our word, so we can easily create that. Say character, we can say this is the word array that is equal to word to character array. Okay. It should be to char array like that. Perfect. Now this method is going to help us create a character array of our word here, because we're from the string, we're using this method that exists to convert it to a individual character array. All right, and at this moment, we're gonna create an empty array, character array, to hold the reverse of W array. Right, because we want to flip it and then compare so that we can determine if the word we're given is a palindrome. So we're going to create it like any other array, but we're going to say that this is a reversed array, which is going to be a new character, lowercase. And we need to now determine the size. How many items will we have? Well, we can just use the length property of the W array that we have, which is the word array, to say that we're going to have this many empty spaces in our new character array called reversed array. Okay, so then add the values in W array in a reversed order into our new array. Perfect. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to index this character array that we have, but we're going to do it in a reverse fashion. So we're going to say for, and put a semicolon here. We're going to say int I. It's not going to start at 0, but rather we need to go to the last value of our W array, which is going to be W array dot length property, and we're going to subtract 1. And since we're starting at a higher number, we're going to say while I is greater or equal to 0. We want to stop when it's 0. And then we're going to do I minus minus, so we can decrement our I value towards 0, starting at a high number. Then we can say for int j is equal to 0. This is for reversed array. We can now safely say that reversed array at location j, the very first item at index 0, is going to be the last item of the W array. So we can say W underscore array at I. And then every time we add a value, we're going to increase j so that we can go to the next possible index. And now we can say system.out.println reversed array is. Now it's going to print a string. Don't mind that. But we can say reversed array like so. And let's see how this code runs. Java C video 26. Java. We're missing a semicolon here. And then we can go Java video 26. Okay, so if we were to enter hello, right, we're going to get reversed array that. What's going on here? J. Oh, we'll try this. It might not like it because I'm printing something else. Ah, there we go. We're getting our reversed array. So we can say here system.out.println. Because of how arrays work in Java, it might not like it with you combining it with another string. So we can say the reversed array is. So we run this, type in hello, and you can say the reversed array is Ole, and I spelled reversed wrong. That perfect. All right, so we have a nice little output now. What we want to do is we have our normal character array from our given word. We now have a reversed version, which this took care of. So now we need to compare. Okay. So we're gonna say that we're gonna have a Boolean palindrome. That's a true. We're going to assume all words are palindromes until we prove it otherwise. And basically, we know that these two words should have the same length, so we can say that for int of I is equal to 0, and while I is less than w-array length, and I is going to go up by 1. At any point, what we're going to say is if w-array at I doesn't equal the reversed array at I. Because if they don't equal to each other, that means we don't have a palindrome. So we can say palindrome is false, and then we can break out of our loop. Okay. So now we get to this point, we can say if palindrome, then we can say that system out.println that word, our given word, is a palindrome. Otherwise, we can output that else is not a palindrome, like so. So let's check this out. Compiler code, and then run it. Let's try hello. Right, so if we were to get hello, the reversed array is Ole. So hello is not a palindrome. As you can tell, they don't work forwards and backwards the same. But if I were to write it with taco dog, once again, we get gato cat. Once again, that is not a palindrome. But if we were to run it with something like a taco cat, which is legit a palindrome, well, the reverse array is this. Then we get to compare T and T. They're the same, so it doesn't turn this to false. A and the same, the C and the C are the same, the O and the O are the same, the C and the C are the same, A and the A are the same, and the T and the T are the same. Therefore, we just finish this loop without ever changing this Boolean variable to false because the palindrome stays true and none of them are actually not equal to each other. So we get to go into this if statement here and say that that word that we inputted at the beginning is indeed a palindrome. All right. So that was that. That was our little palindrome checker by using character array. We learned how to, once again, convert a string into a character array by using the .to character array. We also have this implicit way of creating an array general where you use the new keyword and create a character array based on the given length so that we have that many empty spaces. For those empty spaces, we wrote a little interesting for loop here where instead of starting at 0, we started at a very high value, which represents the very end of our word array. And we wanted that I value to go down by 1 every time. And we did that while I is greater than or equal to 0, right? Because we wanted to reverse this array so that at 0, we're going to have the back item of W array. And as J increased, I was decreasing so that we were properly decreasing our indexes so that we can reverse our array properly. Okay, and we were able to output and see what that looks like. And then we just did a nice little comparison. We were allowed to assume that the length of each one are the same because we built the second array based on the length of the first array. So then our logic was, well, we're going to think that all words are palindrome, and we're trying to prove that it is not based on analyzing the index values at each location. So if anytime it didn't match up, the palindrome will turn to false. If we were able to break out of that because we found an instance where we can already prove that the word itself is not a palindrome, then we have an if statement to output all the word that it is a palindrome or not in the end. All right. So that was our little program. As you can tell, with the addition of arrays, our program is getting more and more difficult and complex. And that's why we keep on adding new skills so that we can become complex programmers. Anyways, as always, thank you for watching and stay classy.